Imagine you're stuck somewhere foreign. You don't know the language, they don't know your language. How are you going to communicate with them? What happens if you need help, but nobody around you speaks the language you speak? You're going to need to learn another language. Every day of our life, we speak. Language is a part of it. It's in the way we react to one another, both verbally, non verbally. We speak internally. Language is everywhere. It's inside of you, it's outside of us, it's in the technology in your phones. It's even in the way your pets interact with you. I made it a point to learn and study different languages. I'm currently only fluent in one, proficient in two, one's a little rusty, and I've learned some phrases and different things to say in other languages. So, why learn another language? I'm going to prove to you why it's necessary, how to do it, and the benefits of it. Now that we acknowledge that language is all around us, let's talk about why we need to know more than just one. Language is growing just with our culture. It's growing rapidly. With the use of technology, we can reach everywhere across the world. And through that, we need to be able to communicate with one another. There are several reasons as to why learning another language and becoming bilingual, or however many languages you want to learn, is important. The implementations are unparalleled. According to the Department of Foreign Languages and Literatures from Auburn University, 4 out of 5 new jobs in the US are created by foreign trade. That being said, how can you communicate if you only know one language? According to an article by the United Education Institute, being bilingual puts you at an advantage over everybody else in the application process. And that in turn could involve you creating a better income. And America being a country with no foreign language, why would we just stop at one? Babbel Magazine, a language learning app, did a study, and English is the third most spoken language in the world, behind Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. So achieving becoming bilingual is you can truly appreciate and understand other cultures and learn about their holidays like Chinese New Year, Dia de los Muertos. And I know personally it has boosted my confidence because when I'm able to go out and speak to somebody who is a native speaker or they speak the language as well, and we can communicate effectively, I know I feel better about myself. And that confidence helps go out into other things that I'm doing at my job, in my home, and it just all around is a boost. Not to mention, you get to know people better by speaking their language and learning their culture, understanding where they're coming from. At work, I've definitely received a lot of recognition and praise in different times. For example, years ago at one of my jobs, there was a guy who came in and he was deaf. All the time, he would always have to write down what he wanted, and you could tell he was getting kind of frustrated. And employees were frustrated because they weren't able to communicate effectively with him. And so soon everybody found out that I was raised with a deaf mother. So my understanding of sign language is going to be better than most. And so with that, I was able to help that guy every time he came in, and he came in for lunch just about every day. So we would sign a little bit back and forth. I'd help him get his order taken, and he'd leave happy. Another incident just happened recently. One of my other jobs, a big family came in, and they were all speaking Spanish. And I mean, you could tell that they were native speakers. I mean, with the accent, like the way I mean, and listening to the interaction with a coworker, and then the community because the coworker did not speak the Spanish. And so I was listening to them take the order and everything, and they were messing that order up. Like it was bad. And I could tell that he was getting frustrated, but so was the family because I mean they're there, they're wanting food, but it's the language barrier was there. But luckily, I was able to listen in and kind of figure out what they were wanting to order, listening to the family talk and all that. So I looked at their order and I went up to them in Spanish, asked them if they had wanted to make those meals, if they wanted hash browns with their meals, and with their sandwiches and whatnot. And so I was able to actually help that customer get what they wanted. And they left a lot happier, thanked me 100 times. And it just really makes you feel good when you're able to help somebody. And I was only able to do that because I can speak another language. So I implore you to learn another language, if not for yourself, then for the people around you, the people in your community. So now you know how it's important and why. Learning it can be fun, it can be easy, and you can do it on your own time. There are so many different ways to learn languages, so many different ways. You can do it the old fashioned way, go find a teacher, and that is becoming a lot more easier accessible because of the technology that we have. We can access people from different worlds or different parts of the world, or you can also just immerse yourself in it, in the culture, learn about it, listen to the music, or you can also download apps and software. PC Mag recently rated all the popular language softwares and based it all off of several factors such as the usability, languages available, priced, etc. And the number one app for learning languages, according to them, is Rosetta Stone, followed by Fluence and Pimsleur. These apps are really, really good for people who are busy, they don't have a lot of time to just sit down and actually immerse themselves into it. And so through that, you can pop your headphones in, you can take it with you on the go, and they also start you out, a lot of them will start you out at the basics. You'll build up to the conversational pieces, to the more advanced language tools that they have to offer. And a lot of them will even rotate them back in all of your basics just so you stay fresh on it. What I did was just immerse myself into it. I didn't do a whole lot of studying. I mean, I did studying in high school in Spanish, but I didn't pay attention, let's be honest. But because of the people that I know, my family, my friends, everybody that I know that speaks Spanish, they all, knowing that I wanted to speak it, just started speaking it at me. And so that forced my brain to adapt and work hard, which therefore helped my critical thinking, my ability to multitask, to be able to switch from language to language in the middle of a sentence. But for those of you who do have a lot of time, I would definitely recommend learning from a teacher or sitting in a classroom and getting that one-on-one interaction if you don't have it available to you, such as I did. So that being said, do your research, choose a language, decide which method is best. Only you know what's best for you. But most of all, have fun. You can find help by visiting local libraries, campuses, look at what they have available, download apps. I mean, you can buy books from bookstores, such as this French grammar one that actually comes with a DVD, or you can do little workbooks such as this. The resources are out there, they're everywhere, especially with how modern technology is. So the question is, do you want to stay stuck in the past, or do you want to move on with the future? South African president, philanthropist, and global human rights activist Nelson Mandela once said, "If you talk to a man in a language he understands, that goes to his head. But if you talk to him in a language that is his own, that goes to his heart."